Woke up this morning, went to TFNation. Mama always said that I would go to TFNation. I would go to TFNation and buy some TFNation.
So I went to TFNation, Europe's largest Transformers convention, and I gotta say, it was, well, first off, I had a lot of doubts and anxieties going into TFNation 2022. As much as I've heard great stories about people's times at TFNation, I've also heard claims of ageism and other nasty things. These doubts were only reinforced by the big broadcast streams from the last 2 years, which were done because something shut everything down. I was watching them with a few friends of mine, and we were like confused for most of it. Like, the panels were fine, but the interludes were like the host making a big deal out of getting his hair dyed pink, and we were like, okay, cool. I get needing to fill in the dead air, but it made all of us feel like we weren't in on the joke, I guess. I don't want this to sound like I'm throwing major disses at the TFNation staff, because from my interactions they seem pretty nice. I just think it gave us all the wrong impression about the event as a whole. I really want to stress that anything negative about the event I say here, I mean in the most constructive way possible. No hate towards anyone in charge, I'm just hoping the things I say can be taken constructively. That being said, TFNation's website really isn't great. A lot of the buttons don't work, there's basic info that should be on the site that isn't. I had to DM the event's Twitter just to find out said basic info. A bad start, really. It made the whole thing feel a little disorganized. My friend and very based YouTuber Ultra Primal expressed interest in going to the event, but was discouraged by the website. She just felt that there were way too many hoops to jump through, especially when compared to the simpler, more streamlined sites for TFCon and BotCon. Anyway, I booked my tickets, I got a room in a hotel across the lake by the establishment because the Hilton is super expensive, headed up there, then violently ate an apple while walking around a table. Yeah, I can't explain. If it wasn't obvious, I went into TFNation a little cynical and turned off by the stories I'd heard and the website's bizarro navigation, but you know what, I had a really good time. The bulk of the convention took place in the dealer room, which was the sweatiest place I've ever stepped foot in my whole life. It was boiling and it was stinky and it was sweaty, but it was kind of neat in there.
The whole head cheese starts.
What was the name of that tribe?
Sorry. Few?
Hey man.
Hi, it's PaperPlane.
Oh, Papes!
Yeah.
Hello!
Hi!
Are you filming me?
Now, Commodin Cameroon was supposed to meet up with me at the event, but the man abandoned me, left me for dead. So instead I met up with Bullpit B. They're making a Transformers animated dating game. Go check it out. 10 seconds, chill.
I'm Bullpit B. I'm on Twitter. Follow me. I'm cute also. Was that 10 seconds?
Sure. I actually met up with them in the line to meet James Roberts, who was an absolutely lovely man who... he was wearing his pajamas? Gary Chalk performed a number on stage. The cosplayers were awesome. Me and Bullpit B had a freaking subway together. It was just a good time. I think the biggest piece of advice I can give to anyone who wants to attend is to bring a friend, or plan to meet up with a friend. My anxieties about the con were super high until I started meeting people and chatting. I want to give a big shout out to everyone who came up and said hi. I want to give an extra big shout out to the person who approached me, saw my badge and said, "Wow, you must be a big fan of PaperPlane." I went into this whole thing like really cynical. But if anything, this whole ordeal made me have a bigger appreciation of the franchise. Seeing the love, passion, and dedication of everyone who attended it, it was lovely, man. The aforementioned man who dyed his hair pink gave this super emotional speech at the start of the day about how it felt good to be home, and I don't know, it just made me feel like, it made me realize that we're all in this together, I guess. Everyone just seemed so passionate and in love with these stupid gay robots, and it was kind of infectious. The whole place was oozing with not just sweats, but togetherness. It's a feeling I can't quite explain unless you're there. We're all just a bunch of weirdos who like gay robots, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can properly convey how all this made me feel. It was just nice. It was lovely. Everyone there was passionate and kind. It was lovely. One last thing. Dr. Lockdown, another very based YouTuber, sent me a gift that his friend Jason passed on to me, which was a shattered glass Starscream. So, big McFankies from McSpankies to Dr. Lockdown. You made my day if it wasn't made already by the amount of crazy stuff I saw by the end. There was a lot of crazy stuff going on there. Like, okay. I was outside of this one panel, and Few Adams approached me and was like, "Oh, all right, Papes." And we started talking about just whatever. And then he cut himself off and said, "Sorry, I just need to take a really huge piss." And he just ran off down the corridor. And I never saw him again. For all I know, he died in the bathroom. That's going to stick with me for the rest of my life. That image of Few Adams just running away down the corridor to the toilet. That was funny. That was very funny. Anyway, 8 out of 10. It was fun. Bye.
Why do you treat me so mean?